Welcome to another episode of Talkin' Chalk. I'm a little gassed out, just deadlifted 500 for 10. No big deal. Fortunately, I'm sponsored by Earth Fed Muscle. So stay tuned as we release Olympic weightlifting and sports performance. This is a new book all about Olympic weightlifting and how we use it for sports performance at Garage Strength at Weightlifting University, at Throws University, and check out weightliftinguniversity.com. We just launched the website and we're slowly going to be putting in all of our courses that we've been creating on the back end on how we use Olympic weightlifting for sports performance as well. So check out weightliftinguniversity.com, garagestrength.com. EFM Strawberry back in stock, killing it. Throw me the questions.
Okay, to start off, we got one from Always Dive Deeper. So what are your thoughts on hypertrophy phase versus mostly low rep heavy weights for building leg/squat strength? And to go deeper, would hypertrophy allow for more muscle fiber recruitment, or is low rep heavy weight better for some dense leg strength and no need to build the muscle thickness immediately, especially if trying to stay in a weight class?
Jeez. So, I mean, we could have a whole episode on that question. I think that, where can I start? I think to begin, you've got to look at, how lean is somebody if we're talking about staying within a weight class. So you've got to say, if they're over 10% body fat, you can still work some hypertrophy stuff and work on their fat. So improving their nutrition, improving their rest time or their rest periods, improving their sleep quality, improving their sleep duration. So some of the fastest ways to lose weight, if you're going to stay in a weight class, would be sleep 10 to 11 hours a day. And eat very, very clean. And you can do that and still have hypertrophy training in your program, which is going to lead to it. I believe hypertrophy does lead to strength gains. I think that we've sort of gotten away from that. The idea of, at the end of the day, the bigger your muscle cell is, the more power you're going to be capable of putting out. So I think it's okay to focus on hypertrophy. I think it depends on when you're peaking, what you're peaking for, what is your sport. I think that's the other issue. I think mechanical loading can lead to hypertrophy as well. So you don't necessarily have to be in that hypertrophy range of like 8 to 12 reps or 6 to 12 reps to achieve hypertrophy gains. You can do 10 doubles, 10 triples, and still achieve hypertrophy and lead to a lot more dense muscular gains and improve the coordination of recruitment with how your nervous system is signaling to your muscular system to recruit. So to answer that question, I think you've got to look at how lean is somebody or how fat are they if they're going to be within a weight class. I think you can, depending on how far out you are from your competition and what it is that you're focusing on, hypertrophy-based training is good for strength gains. I think a lot of people forget that 5s to 8s to even sometimes 10s are going to lead to some impressive strength gains over a 4 to 6 week time frame. But if you're in like Olympic weightlifting, you might have to do 10 triples, you might have to do 8 doubles, you might have to do 7 triples, something like that to still achieve that mechanical load, which will increase hypertrophy and it will increase your coordination as far as recruitment is concerned, and then thus lead to impressive strength gains. So I think it's more of an open-ended answer, but there's a lot of facets at play with that question.
Okay, we got one from Cami K. My knee joint pops every time I squat/deep squat. Help.
A lot of people get that. I think that's like that shoulder crepitus. It's knee crepitus. I think it has a lot to do with mobility. I think it has to do with ankle mobility. And I think sometimes that if you improve your ankle mobility, your knee might not track as hard forward when you are squatting ass-to-grass, and so that it might not get to a point where you get that little cracking feeling. I also think that it could just be a motor pattern issue that ends up occurring within the actual joint there could be some inflammation within the joint. So if you use something like Gelatin Pro from Earth-Fed Muscle, now all of a sudden you can decrease that inflammation in the area. You can do some more mobility. You can do some tack and floss stuff, and you could squat with tack and floss around your knee, and that could also help open up that whole capsule. So I think there's a couple different things that you can do to attack that crepitus to get rid of that clicking sound.
Tyler Lino 15, Linau, is CBD legal to take for NCAA athletes?
I don't know. I would assume it is. I know it's legal to take if you're being tested by WADA. I know it's legal to take if you're being tested by USADA. Whether or not it's legal in the NCAA, you've got to check the NCAA guidelines and drug testing regulations and check with whoever your drug testing advisor would be. I'm sure they're going to tell you, oh, you don't know where this source comes from. You probably shouldn't take it because it's probably marijuana. But it probably isn't. It's probably hemp-derived and it's probably safe. But with all that being said and me mocking them, check with your advisor.
And this one's from Carlos VG10. Can Garage Strength help me with soccer?
Yes, Carlos VG10. Of course we can help you with soccer. We've got a ton of soccer players. Christian Slode starts, I believe, as a forward at Penn State. He's one of the best scorers in the Big Ten. He's a beast. We trained Christian since he was in 8th grade, and I think that a lot of people have to understand that some of the big keys behind agility and speed always come back to torso stability. So if we can think about a sprinter or somebody running or a basketball player, someone like Allen Iverson or Michael Jordan or whoever's big now, I don't follow basketball enough, obviously LeBron, but if you watch them juke people, think about Barry Sanders too. When they juke, their torso is stable and it's their hips that are moving. And if we can think about from a speed perspective, the fastest sprinters have incredible torso stability, and that's why lifts like front squats and cleans and snatches and back squats ass to grass carry over so well to speed development, because they teach torso and trunk stability so that there's less energy being lost side to side and more energy being utilized with proper locomotion. So absolutely we can help a ton, not only with speed work with soccer players, but also with just general strength and agility.
This next one is from Garen Gross. Benching hurts my rotator cuff and I don't know why. Any ideas what's wrong?
I would say if there's an issue with that, your external rotation is probably a little bit poor or really weak, and I would recommend doing seated dumbbell external rotations with a 5-second eccentric. Do 5 sets of 6 at like a 10-pound dumbbell or a 12.5-pound dumbbell with that slow eccentric. Hit that for 4 to 5 weeks, and I guarantee you that your bench press will actually go up from improving the strength inside of your rotator.
From DBZ Gym. Is it true not jerking off can help boost testosterone temporarily or long term?
DBZ Gym with the masturbation question. So I can share this story that Dr. B used to mock me, as far as he he used to say to me, Dane, too much touch penis. So that's anecdotal. I believe there is a little bit of research. I know there's a lot of anecdotal research around boxers and fighters not masturbating during their fight camp, going 8 weeks where they're not ejaculating at all. That's extremely anecdotal. I do believe that there's actually, if you do masturbate, there's an initial response that your testosterone will go up just afterwards. But I'd have to look into what it does long term. I don't. That's not an area where I'm well versed on anymore, since I'm married and have 4 children. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Talkin' Chalk. Stay tuned to GarageStrength.com. Stay tuned to our Instagram at GarageStrength. Go to @Weightlifting University, @EarthFed Muscle for the best, cleanest supplements on the market. Go to Throws University if you want to check out some more throwing information. If you're looking to get lean and shredded for the summertime and you're a woman, check out the bikini program at GarageStrength.com. Peace.